Welcome back, everybody. This is Wings of Wax, and we are playing Slay the Spire. Last time, what did we end up happening? This looks like Pandora's box. I forgot. We have blue candle to make unplayable curses be able to be playable. They cost 1 HP, and they are able to be exhausted. So that's pretty helpful, actually. I feel like against like the heart and stuff like that. But we are going to lose basically 2 HP for every time we do that. But we got Pandora's box to turn all of our strikes and defends into what? We got a brutality, bludgeon, intimidate, brutality, dual wield, berserk. Okie dokie then. I mean, the deck is filled with just better cards. Do we have enough damage though to be able to output? I feel like we still do. We still have bash, clothesline, pommel strike, wild strike, headbutt, iron wave, thunderclap. We have dual wield. Dual wield's probably the worst out of all these, but you know, having brutalities, I'm not really a super big fan of those either. It doesn't really help out our strategy for barricade, so I'm a little disappointed in that. But we don't really have very many defensive cards to go with our barricade here. We're just like a modge podge of stuff, which I'm thinking we're not going to be able to get to the heart. It's sad when you look at a run and you're like, should I abandon this and just try again? But I feel like we should just stick it out and see what happens and see if we can learn anything from all of this. We have Dark Embrace to be able to help us out to draw some cards from Exhaust, which would be Fiend Fire, as well as Offering, as well as True Grit. Do we have any other Exhaust? We have an Intimidate, which would be helpful. I gotta remember dual wield is only attacks and power because I do run into that issue quite often, and yeah, that's never a fun opportunity to make a mistake on. Let us see here. What do we want? We want to be able to upgrade Berserk, that's for sure. We would also like to upgrade Barricade and dual wield. So if we can potentially hit 3 fireplaces, then I'll be very happy. But obviously that's probably going to be a little tougher than we initially anticipate here. So obviously we could probably hit one at the end. We have one here. We have another one here, but that means we can't hit this one. We have another one here, which means we can't hit either of those two. We have another one here and 2 more here. Okay, so we also have 176 gold, so it would take us a little while to be able to get to a shop to make it worthwhile. I feel like getting to like this shop would not be a terrible option. If we go to this one, we skip over an elite. And we are in what? Act 2? I believe it's Act 2 because we have the Collector, I think is what his name is. He's the one with the fiery eyes and stuff like that, so that's why he has the flame ball eyes here, the fireballs, which are not fireballs because they're green flames. And if I go this way, there is another fire. We get 2 elites, which Act 2, I feel like we can, you know, afford to go for some elites. But the problem is that there is 5 combats before we get to this elite. So I don't think it's actually going to be worthwhile for us. Herma. That sounds like a death wish, honestly. This option sounds like the best one. Or we just skip over this elite. And we can end up fighting like an elite towards the end. That's actually probably a better idea to be able to take this path here. It doesn't really matter which one we start with, so I'm just going to pick. But we're going to go probably up the center. So I would like to intimidate because we don't really have too much in terms of blocking this turn, which is unfortunate. And we probably will just True Grit the Dark Embrace because Dark Embrace actually is not very beneficial to us. And this is the problem with having like dual wield in our deck is we don't really have enough mana to be able to take advantage of it. So that is an issue. I wish we could just cast it and exhaust it, but it doesn't work like that. We do have Offering. Probably should consider that this turn since we'll probably be able to at least be able to soak up the 6 health that we'll be able to. I say that we lose from that. I say that and we don't actually get any more defensive cards, which we don't really have very many defensive cards, which is probably the reason why Barricade is not good strategy. But I think taking Pandora's Box actually just like screwed us because we were kind of like setting up for like a barricade deck, and we got the aggressive side of that dice roll on Pandora's Box. It's a little sad. Well, we can go for a headbutt that won't kill you. We can go for a clothesline that will kill you. But unfortunately, we only have like 1 mana left to deal with, and we can only headbutt. And if we headbutt, what are we going for? Probably a bash at that point. So we should kill this one, save us 10 health. And I want to be able to kill this guy as quickly as possible. So do we go with any of these brutalities here? That is the main thing. We're only going to have 3 mana? I don't think so. Brutalities are great if you actually have the mana to be able to use them, but that we're not really in that spot, so. And Fiend Fire does not deal enough to kill you, sir. What happens if we Thunderclap? That's 4 damage on you, go down to 30. These will deal, what, 10 apiece? And we have exactly lethal at that point. I think that's worthwhile, then. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect. We didn't take too much damage. I would like to go for a Shrug It Off to be able to draw some more cards and get some more armor because we do kind of have the barricades, and I would like to try to find some more defensive cards for the strategy. I mean, there really isn't a strategy. This deck is literally just a Mod Podge of just random things, and we're just trying to make do, which I'm wondering if we should even bother trying to fight the hearts and just go for the Act 3. It's tough because we're not really looking too great here. Unfortunately, you don't double a skill, which is really unfortunate. And if I dual wield the Iron Wave, we still can't actually cast the Iron Wave. But it will add another Iron Wave to our deck. So I think that's worthwhile then. And we could Offering, but I'm trying to make it so we don't actually, lose our... We can actually regenerate our HP here, so that's why I'm not going for the Offering right away. This is unfortunate. We're going to lose some health, regardless. So, what do we do here? Oh, well, it kind of sucks no matter what we do, so let's just remove some negated effects from you. Oh, we got Nanshaku. Thank you. It doesn't matter. This deals more damage, so... Yep. Is there any cards we want from here? He is at... too much health, I believe. 46 currently, and he's just doing a double attack this turn. Okay. He is going to be dealing a small amount of damage next turn, so I'm considering the bludgeon, but the bludgeon won't kill him. That is the issue. So, what is the next option? We could go for another Shrug It Off. We're going to be drawing, what? Not enough cards to be able to kill him with Fiend Fire. That's basically what it comes down to. Boom, 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 boom. I'm almost like tempted to just go for like Shrug It Off here because it's just like block and it also draws this card, so. Yeah, and since we already have Barricade up, like it makes sense to be able to do that. Intimidate will take that last bit of negation that you have on there, the artifact. So that is helpful. Thank you so much. So here we are. Let's Shrug it. I would like to still True Grit, even though we can weaken him. I just think we could potentially stack up some damage. Is that correct, though? Like, we just take the 4 here, and then we set it up so we could potentially try to kill him next turn. Problem is we're going to draw, like, double Brutality and, like, a Berserk next turn. Or Dual Wield. Like, we have so many dead cards. We have Dark Embrace, Dual Wield, we have Brutalities, and we have... Offering is good, but Berserk is not going to be good, so... yeah, I think we just get rid of a card. And I think Thunderclap is the weakest out of all these. You know, I could be wrong. Could be Bash, actually, right now. I think we're going to get rid of that, though. And we'll just deal some extra damage here. So, yeah, I had a feeling we were going to draw double Brutality and Berserk. I called that, right? Man, do we even use the potion? All of this just feels awful, so... I'm wondering if the game will just, like, mercy kill me. Let's see. None of these are super duper helpful for us, to be completely honest. I would say like Dropkick is a pretty decent card though. Perfected Strike obviously is only going to deal like 6 damage, so the only card I'm really looking at is Dropkick. And we have 2 vulnerables. So we have Thunderclap and we have Bash. I'm not opposed to that. I think we take that. That's a pretty decent card. I would like to be able to get to the shop, so let us journey this way and hopefully not take too much damage. I would like 99 gold instead of this ritual dagger since we're getting to a shop pretty soon. And the dagger isn't going to be super duper helpful for us anyway, so. Snecko, this guy is kind of a pain in the butt, so. Should we bash him or clothesline? I think we should bash him. Try to deal as much damage as possible here. I should have considered, going for the headbutt first because I'm not sure if I actually want to put the bash on top of my deck. But I think I do because he's going to Snecko it, so it could cost like a mana less or something. Because typically the high rolling cost cards, they typically become cheaper. Yeah, see, free. It is cheaper. It's just free. Don't you like free stuff? I like free stuff. Intimidate versus Shrug It. This only applies 1 week, though. So, I think we shrug it off. We didn't really get anything good that I really want to go for here, so I guess this is probably our best option. This is going to cost 1 mana. That's pretty funny. But we could just kill him. Let's just get rid of him. TKO. None of these. Well, oh my god, are we not a barricade strategy anymore? Are we actually going to probably get rid of a barricade if given the choice? I think so. And we're given like the rupture. Like, we don't. Like, the cards that we took that are defensive are not like. They can go in just about any strategy. So, and we are very aggressive too. Yeah, I'm tempted to go for this rupture here since that way we can actually take advantage of the brutalities and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, and then we get obviously barricade in the opening hand. Why wouldn't we? That seems legitimate. Let's start with the Shrug It Off. See where that leads us. We have Iron Wave. Sure. And I might as well get this Intimidate out of our deck. So the least amount of damage I'm probably going to take is this turn and next turn. So I think I'm going to go for this Berserk here. Because we're going to be vulnerable for 1 more turn. So as long as we can put up some amount of block, we should be okay here. Boop, 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 boop. I would like to try to find a block card for this turn. We have what? True Grit. We have True Grit, so it's not going to happen. Okay, so we're going to be taking all the damage is basically what you're telling me. So we should just clothesline him. And I'm not going to offer him because it's going to cause us to take even more damage. Man, that's really crappy. That means we misplayed. No! Okay, I don't think I'm going to play both brutalities. I feel like that's a recipe for disaster for us. We're just taking already so many hits as it is. Well, we can trigger it, get rid of the Dark Embrace, so that's at least a start. And we have like Wild Strike to be able to take this guy out since this is not going to kill it. Oh, it will kill it, but that does cost way more mana. We're going to put a Hex into our deck, but I think that's reasonable right now. It's not the end of the world. And we're going to take basically 2 damage because of our brutality. So yeah, let's Wild Strike this guy and bash this guy. That way it sets us up to be able to deal some vulnerable damage to the Chosen. I didn't realize that's what you were called. That's pretty funny. Yep, we're going to dropkick you. I would also like to bludgeon you if that is possible. And then we can just kill you. Thank you. Thank you for your sacrifice. Any of these worthwhile for an Ancient? Not really. The Ancient is not as good, I feel like, as the other 3 that we currently have. Man, Heavy Blade does work well with the brutality and that like the strength bonus stuff that we can potentially go for. Do we want to fill our deck, though, with even more cards? That's what it comes down to. Shockwave is also pretty good, too. I should also mention that. But I'm feeling like Heavy Blade might just be better in the long run, because we're going to keep getting... If we can set up that little two-card combo, the Rupture and, like, Brutalities, we could potentially get Heavy Blade to be able to deal massive amounts of damage, so... I'm tempted to go for it there. I'm going to take the gamble. We're already playing, like, a pretty risky deck at the moment. I am not losing all my gold. Are you kidding me? We want to get to that shop. Absolutely not, sir. Absolutely not. So we can just kill this guy right here. I think that is worthwhile. And I will go for one Brutality. I do not want both. Just because it's going to deal more damage to us over the long run, then we're actually going to be able to get value out of it, so. And none of this looks good either. So where are we at? Well, we can clothesline. Or is clothesline worth it? It's going to save us a little bit of damage, but can we just take this guy out? 31. That is 30 damage. We still have a fire potion, though, so I can potentially use that. So I wonder if I just go for, like, a wild strike on this guy and then go for a fire potion. That sounds reasonable enough. And then it's a matter of, do we clothesline him? Yeah, I think we do. It prevents us from taking a little bit more damage. I like that. Not really worth it to go for the Berserk there. We're going to be taking way too many hits if that's the case. That's why we need to upgrade that, like, ASAP. Like yesterday. Just taking my time to make sure that we're actually going to do this correctly, which we are still not going to be able to kill you. We're probably going to take more than 6, so we should go for the offering and see if we find a way to be able to kill you. Oh, it's so rude. It's so rude. We still can kill you. Well, actually, we could have killed you before I did that, but... this kills you, right? Deal 14? Yes. We already have a bunch of aggressive cards. If I were to take something here, Combust and Twin Strike are probably the best to take advantage. The Twin Strike is to take advantage of the strength upgrade, and Combust is just a good card in general, and is a part of that losing life strategy, I guess, if you want to call that a strategy right now. But I feel like with the double brutality, we're just never going to be able to set up this Combust, because we'll be taking 3 points of damage every turn. Like, that's not going to happen. I think we take the Twin Strike, though. That's actually a reasonable card. And I have to go for the Smith here, because we have to start setting up our cards to be able to do better things for us. I realize that we're probably going to get boned and killed in the process of doing that, but, like, we need to, like, upgrade some of our cards here. So I think we go for the Berserk, though, and, you know, just... We're going in with the plan of just, like, you know, getting rid of our Barricade here, and probably our Dark Embrace, because those are the 2 dead cards in our deck right now. Yeah, and we also need more mana too, so we're bottlenecked on mana every single turn. And I would like to be able to go to the shop. I would like to be able to get rid of a card. We did get some more strength upgrades, which is great. So we did get Self-Forming Clay, and we did get Pancake, or Lee's Waffle rather, which would bring us up to full health. And we are at 378 gold. I think that's actually worthwhile. We got pretty lucky there, to be completely honest with you. I will not lie. I do not think we can actually keep this Barricade in our deck any longer. That is so sad. We are very aggressive right now. Do we go for the spot weakness, or do we go for the drop kick? That's basically what it comes down to. We don't really have a way to save cards in our hand, so if our opponent's not attacking, we can't actually take advantage of spot weakness, but spot weakness does give us strength every time basically we find it, as long as our opponent's attacking. So tough decisions all around. And obviously we can't really take... I guess we could take spot weakness and inflame, technically, and just leave dropkick out of this. But I really like dropkick, being able to be like a free 5 damage. I don't know. I feel like we're at that spot where taking 2 strength cards is probably for the best. That could have been wrong. What do we have? Enemies with vulnerable take 75% more damage rather than 50%. That's pretty good. And we get to start with an attack in our opener. Is there an attack that we would really, really like? Like, Bash is pretty good. Bludgeon's pretty decent. Bash is probably the best thing, right? Bash would be a great card, since Fiend Fire's not really an opening card type of card. Better than a Sapphire Key at this moment? Probably. Like, it's really good. The Bottle Flame is just way too good for us, I feel like, to be able to set up just many turns. Yeah, we can be able to upgrade another card here. And then probably when we get to Act 3, I'll be able to start actually taking these key pieces, so I got to keep that in mind. But I need to start upgrading cards now. Absolutely, right now. I could go for, like, an innate brutality right now, because that's what happens when you upgrade that, which would put it in our opening hand. I like Fiend Fire upgraded as well. What is Rupture? Costs 0 mana. Wow. That's not terrible. I do like cards that become 0 mana. And we can actually dual wield it at that point too, which would be pretty sick. Yeah, I think we actually go for that. Either that or probably like the Fiend Fire to be able to deal some big damage at the end, but we don't really have ways to take advantage of the Fiend Fire. Unfortunately, we get another shop. Do we have any ways to take advantage of this? Not really. I'd like to remove a card from our deck, but that's not happening. We do have Metallicize, and we're kind of like lacking on the defensive side of things, and I'm thinking that that might actually be a reasonable choice for us to take here. Yeah, I think that's worthwhile. Lose this relic. Mercury Hourglass, lose Bottled Flame, obtain a special relic. Both of these have been really good. Is there really a special relic, a special relic that we would actually want more than either of these? I don't really think so, to be completely honest. They're both incredibly powerful. I mean, there are definitely like more powerful ones, but I don't think this is worth losing any of these over. I'm avoiding the elites right now, in case anybody's wondering. So we have Bash, probably Iron Wave, and Intimidate. I think that's a reasonable start here. Put up a tiny bit of block. Man, that is unfortunate. I was not paying attention in Shaku. But honestly, that really wouldn't have helped us anyways, so we just couldn't take advantage of it this turn. I don't even think we doubled the bludgeon because, I don't know, I think it's just too much. It just fills our deck with too many high casting cost cards, and we don't really have that much mana to be able to spend every turn. Do we just go for the Fiend Fire here, though? And put him on... What's that, 28 damage? It's actually more than that. It's 40 damage because of the Vulnerable. I think that's worthwhile. We can deal probably 20 damage next turn. 10 damage, I'm sorry, next turn. I miscounted. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It doesn't matter which one. Let's see. We have Cleave. We have Infernal Blade. And we have another Bludgeon. Do we want any of these? Do we have any AoE in this deck already? Not really. We have Thunderclap, I guess. That counts as something, but I don't think that is really what we were hoping for, to be completely honest. I think we take a Cleave here. That way it can just help us out, be able to get to the bigger bosses at the end. This is what? I'm sorry, I didn't pay attention. Duplicate a card. Duplicate. Dupe. Is there any cards we actually really want to duplicate? Like maybe like another Metallicize? Because like we could go for like the Spot Weakness and Inflames, but I feel like we don't really want that many ways to upgrade our strength. Because we don't have a lot of cards that like deal damage X times, except for like Twin Strike. Obviously, the Heavy Blade does take advantage of those, but those are only really like the 2 cards in the deck that fully take advantage of us having some strength in the deck. Like we're just lacking in the defensive department. That is basically what this comes down to. I could obviously go for like a free drop kick rather, but I think having a second Metallicize is just more beneficial to us in the long run, since we just don't have a lot of ways to block anyways. And I could technically recall here. Let's just make sure we don't want to like upgrade anything first of all. Man, it would have been nice to upgrade the Metallicize before we duplicate it, but that's okay. We could put a brutality in our hand and make it innate. I think putting one of them into our opening hand is reasonable. But there is an issue that... The thing is, like, we have 2 brutalities in the deck. And yes, I would like to get rid of one if we can make one innate. Which means that if that's the case, we have 2 shops or whatever, we could get rid of a brutality and a dark embrace. Those are probably the weakest cards out of this deck right now. I could also go for a dual wield. We don't really have anything that super duper takes advantage of that, though, and we don't really have the mana to take advantage of it either. That's the biggest issue when it comes to dual wield, is you need like the mana to be able to cast those cards that you're duplicating. And we just don't have that. I'm thinking we go for a brutality here. Obviously, I could go for metallicize. That would not be a terrible choice. We could go for a Fiendfire as well. But I think making this innate is probably more beneficial for us in the long run, so we can actually get rid of the other one. Alright, so we have the Collector. He is a bit of a toughie, but obviously we're going to start with, you know, our typical opener here. We should Twin Strike you. That would deal the most amount of damage. Probably next turn if we start blocking, we're going to go for this Dexterity Potion. So let's see what we have. We don't have really much blocking, to be completely honest. This is free. Maybe I should have gone for the Inflame first, but I think we should Offering, though. Which is probably what I should have started with in the first place, but that's okay. Not the end of the world. We have Rupture, which is free. I would like to prevent as much damage as possible this turn, so I guess we do pop this Dex Potion anyways. And I would like to be able to go for the Shrug It Off. We get a Truget, Metallicize. We can get rid of Dark Embrace because we never want to draw that card ever again. And then we're left with, like, Inflame Cleave. I think that's reasonable enough. Which means we missed out on 2 points of damage earlier, so... In case you're wondering. 2 damage shouldn't really, like, make or break, though. We have Intimidate for this turn, so that is actually really helpful. Unfortunately, they're all attacking, which means, like, we can't even really go for this Berserk, because otherwise we're just going to take so much heat. And I can't really go for the other Spot Weakness either. But, I'm sorry, the other Brutality is what I'm saying, not Spot. We want to cast a Spot Weakness. We do not want to cast a second Brutality. Because we'll just be taking too much damage, and we'll have too many cards and too many options in our hand to be able to keep up with this cap of mana. So I'm actually considering going for the Fiendfire here to be able to get rid of these 3 cards, since I'm, like, never going to want to be able to cast these. Obviously, I would love to be able to cast the Wild Strike, but I don't think we're ever going to be able to have the option to. This is going to deal 39 damage. Let me just take out one of these guys. Like, he is vulnerable for one more turn. Ugh. I'm trying to save the Entropic Brew for, like, the heart if we actually do get there. Saves us 5 damage. I think it's better for the long run, though. Yeah, we're just never going to be able to cast those cards, so it's better to just Fiendfire there. We do get another Metallicize. I am pretty ecstatic about that. We can actually dual wield Metallicize here, which I believe is reasonable enough. Like, we just need help in the defensive department, and this is definitely going to suit us up for the next couple of turns. So let's just go for that. He wasn't vulnerable this turn anyway, so, like, being able to attack this guy wasn't really super duper worth it. We would like to kill this one, though, this turn, if we can help it. We can Spot Weakness. We can Cleave. And he's only dealing 10, so we don't mind taking the 1, but we're actually going to try to kill you if that's the case anyways. And this is going to put you at 1. So, that's unfortunate. There's no, like, great play this turn, to be honest with you. We could Heavy Blade and then set up the Spot Weakness. Like, that's probably just the best option. Well, when you do it that way, you know, you're not able to spot weakness. You miss a play. That's unfortunate. It's not the end of the world, but man, we would have been happy with having extra 3 strength there. It's gonna make this a little tougher now that we made that small misplay. Just ordering matters quite frequently if you haven't noticed in these games. And we're gonna take a large chunk of damage. Oh my goodness. Let's go for the Shrug It. Let's go for the Iron Wave. Let's go for the True. What do we not want? Clothesline is... it's okay. Spot weakness is going to be spotty. Because we're really only going to have this guy for the next couple of turns. And we're also getting enough strength, I feel like, out of our cards right now. Anyways. Deals the most amount of damage. We take 2, which is actually 3 because of brutality. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is way too much damage, but, you know, we're doing the best we can here. He is going to be vulnerable for another turn, so I'm considering just going for, like, another drop kick. Just get a free card out of it. It's reasonable enough. So we're taking 18? 18. Oh, no. Oh, actually, no. 22. Which is 23. We can dual wheel the drop kick. I like that, actually. I think that's pretty nifty. All right. From here, we can set up a bash to be able to deal more damage over the course of the long run here, but he's going to be vulnerable for one more turn. He's putting up a block next turn. I like Headbutt to be able to put potentially Dropkick back on top of our deck. I don't think we go for the other bash. I think we just try to deal as much damage as possible here. And we have Twin Strike, which will kill you, actually, so never mind. All right, well, thankfully, we got through that pretty much unscathed. Ooh, Juggernaut with Metallicize? Are we just getting, like... we have, like, 0 focus in this deck. That's for sure. And we don't have enough card draw to take advantage of Fiend Fire, and we're not really an exhaust strategist. Either we skip or we take Juggernaut here. And, and I'm strongly considering going for the Metallicize because it does say whenever you gain block, yes. So basically, we'd be able to deal extra damage with these two if we get them set up. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I think we just skip. As much as I hate that, but yeah, that's just way too greedy, I feel like, of a play. Can no longer smith, but we don't really have anything we want to smith anymore, except for, like, I guess Fiend Fire, but and obviously, like, dual wield, I guess. We just want to get rid of a couple cards, like get rid of the Second Brutality as well as the Dark Embrace. We have obviously Velvet Choker, which is reasonable because we don't really... I'm not going to take Astrolabe. We already screwed ourselves, I think, with the Pandora's Box. We're making it work, which is why I'm sticking this out. But I'm not going to be able to transform 3 cards and then upgrade them. Like, that's... Ugh. Although, now that I say that out loud, we could upgrade Brutality and Dark Embrace. And what would be, like, the next weakest card? I feel like Dual Wield because I'm, like, never going to be able to have a chance to upgrade that. Or Intimidate. Is there anything, like, worse than those? Everything else is pretty reasonable. Fiend Fire is probably, like, on the chopping block, too, to be honest, because it's not really that great of a card in this deck because we just don't draw cards. So he is... This one's, like, on the chopping block because we just can't fuel it. Like, we can go for an Offering, and that's really about it. Like, we have the Rupture semi-combo, but I do think we go for the Velvet Choker. As you can tell from all the games we've played, we've been able to play a lot of things, but we're still bottlenecked on mana. And I think the Velvet Choker is better for us because we're never going to play more than 6 cards in a turn unless we cast Offering. So, yep, we're going to take Choker. All right, well, we're trying to make the best of this deck here after that transforming Pandora's Box fiasco. We actually got rid of a barricade because it was just a dead card because we just transformed into a very aggressive strategy. So we're trying to make it work. I don't really have high hopes for this, but this honestly, it'd be really funny if this is the deck that actually took us to the win, but I would be eating up my own shirt at that point. But hopefully you enjoyed the episode and what we have tried to we've tried to make lemons out of poo, I feel like, but lemonade out of poo. There we go. That's more closer to the actual. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please leave a comment down below if you think that I could have made some choices better in this, which I'm sure there are going to be many of them. But as long as you're constructive or kind about it, then I have no issues with it. So like how do I turn this poop soup into something that's actually a little bit reasonable? Give me some tips. Give me some pointers down there. Let me know what you think. What should I do? But thank you guys so much for watching. All the support lately has been super duper helpful, and I greatly appreciate it because it just, makes me want to, it motivates me more to be able to want to make more videos. So I thank you so much for all the extra love and you taking that second out of your day to just like or leave a comment or whatever it is you do to help out the stream. Sorry, the channel. It goes a very long way, and it brings more positivity to me, which is why I'm trying to spread some more positivity. So with that being said, go do something positive for yourself today. Do something that makes yourself happy, and have a great day. Thank you so much, guys. Good luck, and grind on.